Thanks again for tuning into this episode of the Grit Strength Podcast. We really appreciate your support. If you enjoy the messages and the content that we share, please pause this episode, go to iTunes, subscribe to the podcast, and then leave us a rating or a review. That's how we get ranked on iTunes. That's how we're going to be able to spread this message to more and more people. So pause the episode, go subscribe, leave us a rating, leave us a review. Thank you again so much for all your support.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Grit Strength Podcast. I'm your host, Taylor Ware. This episode is again brought to you by Competitive Greatness. You can check out both of those accounts on all the social media platforms at grit_strength and at C Greatness Train. That's the letter C Greatness Train. And I know I've talked about this before, but I named my basketball player development company, which now we work with over 300 athletes, almost 350 athletes in Indianapolis, travel across the country doing camps and clinics. And I named it Competitive Greatness because John Wooden's Pyramid of Success has a lot of different terms in it. Competitive greatness is one of them. And competitive greatness, how he defined it, was being at your best when your best is needed. And I've always looked at it as, hopefully we are preparing athletes, and hopefully I prepare myself on a daily basis and can teach more people to prepare themselves on a daily basis to always be at your best. You can't just be at your best when it's needed. You should always be at your best, and if you prepare that way, you will be at your best when you have to be. And so that parlays kind of right into what I want to talk about today. And this happened a few weeks ago, but I've been kind of waiting and timing it up to put it on the podcast. And I had another couple things happen this week that really motivated me to kind of go ahead and put this message out there. I was having breakfast at a breakfast chain, very popular one. I'm not going to say which one it is because I actually do really like their service. I like their food. I enjoy going. But it just blew my mind that I saw this, that it happened, and that people have this mentality in our world every single day. And as I was leaving after eating breakfast, and again, it was a great experience. I didn't have anything wrong, nothing, I had no complaints whatsoever. So it has nothing to do with that. But on the door, on the way out, there was a piece of paper that was taped up on the doorway, on the glass door, and it said, "We hope that your visit was satisfactory. If anything wasn't satisfactory, please let management know." And I'll start by saying this. I really do appreciate that, companies ask for responses, ask for comments, because I know I do too. I like to have feedback, both positive and negative, from our athletes and from our clients, and so I appreciate that piece of it. What I don't get at all is how satisfactory can be what the standard is set to. I don't see how anybody can go about their daily business, about their daily life, and expect themselves to shoot for satisfactory. There is no way that any of the most successful people out there, the most successful athletes, successful coaches, trainers, you name it, are striving for satisfactory. And there's no way you should either. And again, it almost stopped me dead in my tracks because I couldn't believe that somebody, obviously it was probably management that put it up there. It doesn't really matter who put it up there. I couldn't believe that somebody was striving for satisfactory. That's the bar that they set for themselves in that particular scenario. And I hope none of you are doing it either, because again, you can kind of hear me getting fired up even just talking about it. You cannot have average or satisfactory be what you strive for ever. Definitely not on a daily basis. Definitely not when it comes to goals, both short-term and long-term. You should always strive for excellence. You should always strive for greatness. Nobody that's ever been average has done anything of significance in our world, in history, now, period. The people who strive for excellence, the people who strive for greatness, the people who strive for perfection, and even when they strive for perfection because that's unattainable, fall short, and sit at excellent, sit at great, sit, at a high level of success have never, in my mind, strived for satisfactory. I even go back to when I was in grade school. You had above average, you had excellent, and then you had satisfactory. Even satisfactory a lot of times was passing. It was like fail, satisfactory, or maybe it was unsatisfactory, satisfactory, and great. Something like that, whatever the terminology was. Satisfactory is not okay. It's not. It should never be okay. And I don't understand why people would think it would be. So this is going to be a really short one today because I don't want to get super fired up on a podcast and start to go into anything crazy negative. But what I do want to get across is this. If any of you out there are striving for satisfactory or are satisfactory at the moment, are average at the moment, and you're the only one that's really going to be able to take a hard look at yourself and be truthful and honest about it. If you can't even be honest or truthful with yourself about it, you're already probably in a tough spot and you're already probably sitting at satisfactory or average. But if you are, if you can take a look in the mirror, if you can be a little bit self-aware, if you can be honest with yourself and understand that maybe you are satisfactory right now or you are striving for average or satisfactory, you can change that. There's nothing wrong with looking in the mirror, understanding that you're not where you need to be and making the changes necessary to strive for greatness. But what is wrong is lying to yourself, thinking that you're in a good spot, or even if you are in a good spot, being satisfied with being in a good spot and not doing anything about it. I can't believe that people in this world strive for satisfactory, want to give their clients, their customers, their families, their athletes a satisfactory performance or a satisfactory effort level. That's pathetic. We all need to strive for greatness. We all need to strive for excellence. There is no in between. You are either getting better or you're getting worse. You're either striving for greatness, you're striving to win, or you're striving to lose. Understand that right now. Take a look in the mirror this week. It's Monday. You've got plenty of time to make this week great, or to at least strive for greatness this week. Do not strive for average. Do not strive for satisfactory. Strive for greatness.
Thanks again for tuning into this episode. Again, you have no idea how much I appreciate the love and support that all of you have shown to our businesses and to this podcast. If you don't mind, if you didn't already, please go to iTunes, subscribe to the podcast, leave us a rating, leave us a review. It helps us get ranked. It helps us reach more and more people with the messages that we're trying to spread. So again, go back to iTunes, subscribe, leave a rating, leave us a review. We really, really appreciate everything you're doing for us and all the support you've shown.